42, I guess. Yeah, it's day 42, and we are going to read chapter 12 to 13 from this fun book, I would say, because I really like this book. This is called the Life's Amazing Secrets by Gaur Gopal Das. So if you haven't read the book, I highly recommend that you try reading this book. The link of the book is on the description of this video that you can find from if you're watching from YouTube, because this video is going this video is live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Periscope and YouTube as well. So yeah, so these are all the platforms that video is going live. So wherever you're listening from, thank you so much for tuning in. So yeah, without any further ado, let's start today's reading, right? Okay, 12 and 13, these are the two chapters that we are going to read today. So yeah, just make the frame correctly. Yeah, I hope everything is visible quite okay. So let's see how many pages that we are going to read. Okay, it's going to be 7 plus 14, I guess 21 pages only. Not that much guys. Okay, so the chapter 12, it says association matters. Okay, so if you're wondering, this is a part of this will relationships. Okay, so to how to actually maintain the relationship in our life, so that is the association matters, and we're going to read only one chapter from the work life, that is competition crossroads. So let's go ahead and read the association matters first. Our relationships are stronger when they contain a spiritual component. There are three different ways to become good friends with someone. Okay, what are the three different ways? I don't know. He's going to talk about it. Okay, here is another true quote. I really like quotes because some books really start with this kind of quotes. Yeah, especially I found this in Robin Sharma books are quite a lot, and I like this. Okay. Truth is, I will never know all there is to know about you, just as you will never know all there is to know about me. Humans are by nature too complicated to be understood fully. Yeah. So we can choose either to approach our fellow human beings with suspicion or to approach them with an open mind, a dash of optimism, and a great deal of candor. By Tom Hanks. So if you don't know Tom Hanks, I think you should Google it. Okay. Because you should know him. I'm not going to talk about Tom Hanks here because this book, otherwise I will I'm quite a little bit short in time, I would say, today, but still I'm going to read 2 chapters. Okay, not anyhow, but because there are not many pages, so I won't be taking much time, right? Let's go ahead and read. And if you're reading with me, thank you so much. You're doing the best thing in this world, and all the social handles will be on the screen right now. So if you, wherever you are actually active, just follow me there. Okay, yeah, thank you. Okay, there is an English proverb as well, if you don't know, and honestly speaking, I didn't know that. Okay, I feel like that I have always have this fear of missing out when I see something like this. Okay, that's it's a proverb that says, "A man or woman is known by the company they keep." Okay, so it's all about the sangha. Sangha is nothing but company. Okay, what kind of friends or people are you are surrounding yourself with, right? Okay, it's a fun story. That's why I want to read it, because in the morning we need some fun stuff as well, just to charge things up. So let's see what it is. There is a funny story about the effect of association. Okay, before the industrial age, a man in a village went out to perform his morning ablutions, because in India, in those days, they would not have restrooms in the house. I think still a lot of people don't have this. After he was done, he got up and put on his dhoti, turned around and looked at the stuff and said, "Disgusting. I am so good looking and handsome. I cannot believe that something obnoxious and nasty could come from me." To his surprise, the stuff spoke back to him and said, "You are calling me obnoxious? Last night I was a delicious samosa. Look what a few hours of association with you has done to me." So the point of this story is like our association can uplift or depress us to the lowest levels. When I talk about association in this context, I do not mean general interactions. In our day-to-day life, all of us will have to interact with people who may not necessarily be the best influence on us. Yet we will have to do the needful, and such interactions are simply neutral dealings, hardly causing us any harm. Association is beyond our neutral high hello dealings. It has to do with the level of intimacy we share with others. So this is basically association. Okay, so where we talk a lot of something, talk with someone for a long period of time, our friends, families, and the people who are surrounded with us, and we need to deal and interact with them a lot. So these are the association, right? And let's see what he has to say here again. Okay. Okay, so there is an ancient text on relationships. So I always write this kind of weird drawings that you see right now. So basically, I'm laughing. Okay, offering gift and accepting gifts, opening one's opening one's mind and inquiring in confidence, sharing food and receiving food are the six changes that develop loving relationship. Okay, offering gifts and accepting gifts, opening one's mind and inspiring in confidence, sharing food and receiving food are the six exchanges that develop loving relationships. It is from an ancient text actually on relationships. So in India, it's very rich if you just want to develop one single part of your life. I sometimes wonder that people at that time were so much spiritual and had so much knowledge if we compared to us. Okay, maybe we know one thing, that is technology, but other than that, those people were like, oh my god. So if when I come across some ancient text, that makes me sometimes wonder that, wow. Okay, so let me know if you feel something like that as well. Okay. So here is the shloka that you can see right now. It is in Sanskrit, and this is the meaning of that shloka that I just said. 6 components. Okay, so we can broadly divide this into 3 different principles. Yeah, so let's see. Okay, so 3 principles is, first principle is giving and receiving. Second principle is exchange of food with each other. And third principle is start revealing our hurt in confidence and listening to the other person's revelations in confidence. So these are the three principles, right? So let's see in details. So the three ways that we can, in make association with people. The first one is giving and receiving. This can be anything like from your Wi-Fi password to anything that you just like to share, and people just reciprocate by sharing back at this in the future. Not immediately, because people really can't always just give everything back as it is on the day you have helped someone, okay, or maybe you have given something to someone. So, and the second principle is there's exchange of food with each other. So he says that during while we eat food with each other, it creates the moment, it makes the moment a little bit lighter, so that people can speak their heart out. So that brings us to this third point, which is actually start revealing our heart in confidence and listening to the other person's revelations in confidence. So this kind of association we can make is when we can actually open our heart to someone and say each and everything as it is, right? And we have the confidence to actually listen to the other person as well, with the confidence that, okay, whatever I'm doing, that person is telling us, we're going to listen to it with open mind. So that is actually, we actually subconsciously gets influenced by these people as well, by their values and beliefs, right? So these are the things that makes the association. These are the three things, or that this way we can create association with any people, right? So these are the things. Okay. Yeah, here is the thing. Thus, intimate association is about interactions that go beyond doing these things, right? So it goes beyond that. Let's see where it goes. Okay, so here is an example. Let me give you an example of how one can get influenced to do something like smoking, even though one knows that it can kill. Let's say there is a young student in a university who does not smoke but is friends with a person who does. Initially, they are just doing the needful, doing experiments in the laboratory, sharing notes with each other, etc. That is how the interaction begins. Slowly, they start moving up the association ladder. He allows his friend to use his bike to get to class on the other side of the town, and the friend reciprocates by letting him use his laptop to complete an assignment. It should be noted that this sharing of things is not a business deal, it is in the spirit of helping as a friend. At some point of the time, they start having lunch together, making their friendship grow even deeper. Guess what? They never ever talk about smoking. So then how does the guy who does not smoke get influenced by the guy who does? This occurs subconsciously. The non-smoking friend is not buying into the action of smoking one, but is giving into their confidence and self-esteem, the values that his smoker friend represents. And the action of smoking simply follows follow as a consequence. Therefore, when we talk of intimate association, we mean subconscious sharing of value systems, which may eventually end up affecting our lifestyle choices. So he's saying it is not only about just sharing your stuff because I'm sharing my bike with you. You need to share your laptop with me so I can work on my assignments. It's not like that. It's not a business deal. It is saying that it happens in the subconscious level, in beyond that sharing. Actually, that really happens when we actually share our values and beliefs. Okay, so, if you believe something and I also believe on that, and our values also matches, we can talk a lot about it, right? Think about it. We agree on some point, maybe there is a slight disagreement as well, so that will be make the friendship or association so much fun. So we don't need that. Okay, if you're a I'm a non-smoker, but if you're a smoker, then it's not really my problem, or any case, or in any case I'm not going to think about it, right? Because our values and beliefs matches. It doesn't really matter what you do with the cigarette whenever you get it on your hand, right? So that is he's talking about. And he says that this may affect me on subconscious level as well, because I will be spending a lot of time with you. Our values and beliefs also aligns. So every time I will be seeing you having this cigarette, chances are that I may adapt it as well. The reverse can happen as well, right? But that's the thing. He says that it may affect our lifestyle choices as well. So these are the things, because it affects us on the subconscious level, right? That's why it is said, watch your thoughts, they turn into words. Watch your words, they turn into actions. So whatever we think, they actually comes out as a words from our mouth. If you keep thinking about one thing every time, so these are going to somehow come out as a word. But once you convert that to word, it will turn into action as well at some point. So yeah, watch your actions, they turn into habits. So if you keep doing something, it will turn into habits. Watch your habits, they turn into character. So if you keep doing something, you will build your identity through it. Watch your character, it turns into your destiny. So if your identity is something like someone, so if you are reciprocating something or someone, that will be your destiny, right? So if I'm keep thinking about books, so how I can actually help people through the knowledge of the books, that's what. If I'm keep thinking, the words that is going to come out from my mouth is going to be related to the all these things like books, and how entrepreneurships can happen, what are the business books can do with you, how to start blogging. These are the things that is constantly come out through my mouth, right? And they are going to turn into actions as well, because I do post a lot of carousels on the Instagram as well, a lot of informative carousels on LinkedIn. So these are the and I post a lot of things on LinkedIn and Instagram. So these are the actions that I keep performing. This does not turn into habit. I won't say this is my habit yet, because I struggle a lot while creating all these things, and this does not really smudge into that much in my lifestyle. But it will turn into habit someday, because if I keep doing this thing, that will be my habit. Because the 60-day reading challenge is not my habit. I need to set these things up, but it is turning this is getting normal for me to wake up and just set up all the camera and everything and just start the streaming. This will get into habit, and the habit will turn into character someday, because I will be thinking myself as a live streamer, or someone who is associated with the social media a lot, so who is helping people to grow through the knowledge of books. So that will be my identity someday. It's not yet my identity. I can't say that it's my identity. I think of myself as a learner and a reader, but someday that will be my identity if I keep doing this thing. And that is the character, right? And this will be my destiny. If I if I build it into my identity or character, then that will be my destiny. Okay, that will be the long-term goal that I think about it. So that's the good thing that I have discussed about it. There is a bad side of everything, right? So the reverse could have happened as well, right? Suppose I'm always thinking about having that kick-ass lifestyle, just spend a lot of money and go to the beach and just do drugs and everything like that. So That will be my destiny if I just keep thinking about all this thing, that if it comes out as a word, if it that it will comes out as an action, the action turn into habits, the habits turn into character, and character makes our destiny. Yeah, so this is a very powerful line. So I would say okay, I gave a huge lecture on this 5-line sentence. Okay, let me just move on. Okay, give me 1 minute, guys. I will be back in 1 minute. Okay. Guys, I'm back again, and yeah, let's just start reading. So I hope everything is okay. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started today. Not today, I have already started. Okay, so let's just read. So the summary of this chapter is like, our association is powerful. It can uplift us or bring us down. General introductions are dealings meant to do the needful and are simply neutral. Like we sometimes meet a lot of people for some reason. Some people may comes to our home to give something, to deliver something. So these are the normal interactions. We don't need to some people may comes to our home just to clean the house, and these are the general interactions, right? So these are not something that we associate a lot, right? Intimate dealings are built through the exchange of things: food, thoughts, values, and belief systems. Our lifestyle is affected more by another person's value systems and their habits. So what other people's value has, that impacts a lot to us if we have these intimate relationships with us. By intimate I don't mean any that romantic relationships. By intimate relationships can be anything. So if you're wondering that it is only the romantic relationships, no, it's not. People who are you are deeply inspired with, or maybe connected with, you spend a lot of time with those person. So these are the intimate relationships, and yeah, so that really affects our value system and behavior, or the habits that we actually develop, right? So Hari Prasad here, actually he brings a lot of problem from his work life to the home. That's why he has this problem with his wife. That's why work life is also important in our lives, because we spend almost like 90,000 hours of our life in work life. So it's really important that we utilize that time, and if we get the most out of that time, and also harmonize with our actual life and this work life. So let's see how we can do it. That's the third will of our life. So that is the work life. So first was this personal life, second is relationships, third is work life, and the fourth is, I guess it's okay, how can I forget so much easily? Do you have a social contribution? Yeah, does this happen to you as well? Okay. I think I should take some courses from Jim Quick. Let me know if his how his courses are, because I see a lot of people actually recommend this to me. Okay, but for that you need to save a lot of money. Okay, competition crossroads. That is about the work life of. That is about the work life. Okay, yeah. Oh, 2 pages. Just removed from today's reading. Okay, so I will be reading 12 pages only today. Okay. At work we tend to compare and compete with others instead of comparing and competing with ourselves. Being the richest man in the cemetery does not matter to me. Going to bed at night saying we have done something wonderful, that's what matters to me. Steve Jobs. I don't have to say anything about this guy. So because I spent reading a lot of, and his name in the book start with Y while I was reading this book on live. So if you haven't watched those live sessions, I highly recommend that you do that. Just use them to read, nothing else. Okay, you just mute that and keep reading. Okay. Harry says that he's in company he had although they need to work together, but there is a lot of competitions as well. And he's asking Gopal Das that how he can actually deal with this. And then he replied that, okay, no, I need to be on that competition, otherwise how I will pay my bills, how I will get promotions. So so these are the questions, right? And yeah, it's obvious, but let's see how to deal with it. Okay, Gopal Das said that it's not only for the for work life, it is for all spheres of life, like students, professionals, couples, even monks compete with each other, he says. And here is a nice line, I really like it. It says competition is a mindset that we have to redefine. But how? Okay, let's see. Here is a nice differentiation between jealousy and envy. So even I didn't think, I used to think of this almost similar. So here's the thing. A boy actually, Gopal Das in school, he went to give an audition of singing. So a sound engineer was actually paid by a boy in the school, so that his audition looks bad, because he wants to get the chance. So when he said this to Gopal Das, he said, okay, you don't need to say anything to anyone, so even not to the judges. So he said, he thought that, okay, let's not compete with each other. But he thought in the mind that what actually made him do that. So here's the thing about jealousy or envy. So one reason I thought of was that he was possibly envious of me. Okay, let's see. When one harbors ill feelings towards others, wanting to be like them or better than them, but does not act on those feelings, it is called jealousy. Okay, it's like we are thinking or we are feeling that, okay, that guy is, I want to be better than this guy, I want to be better than that girl. So if these are the thinking that you have in mind, but you are not doing anything about it, that is called the jealousy. Okay, suppose you are actually, maybe your boyfriend or girlfriend is talking to someone else, and you're just feeling that, okay, why he or she is doing that, but you're not doing anything about it, you're not taking any action through it. That is actually jealousy. And although the feeling eats one up from the inside, one still has the self control to not harm the other person. So when you have the self control not to harm anyone, like even if you see your see your boyfriend or girlfriend talking to any other person, you're feeling jealous, but you're not taking anything, taking any action or doing any harm to that person. When you're not doing that, that is only jealousy. That's fine. But however, when one does act on those feelings, jealousy turns into envy. So that is called envy. So when you take action, actually, right? And envy is the root cause of being competitive with others in a way where one does not mind going to any extent to their place. So envy actually makes you compete with that person to be better than that person. So that creates this envy. So envy actually he says that makes us competitive, but you can do anything just to surpass that specific person or a thing. And it's not really right. You should not do anything out of envy, right? Okay, so let's see what are the things that we can get here. Okay, so when competition is bad or when competition is good, how to decide this? So every sport has an element of competition to it, and there is a joy in pushing yourself hard, pushing yourself to that limit. But when the stakes are high, the prestige and prize of winning may completely overshadow the ethic of doing your best, and some players may even play dirty to win. Whether it is over exaggerating injuries in a football tournament or tampering with the ball to make it swing more in flight in a cricket match, players have been seen putting their hard earned reputation and even their sports career on the line simply for some cheap short term gains. That happens, right? That's basically, happens out of the jealousy or envy, maybe. It's not, it actually creates this competitive space. We as a human being can do anything, like put our reputation on on the track, just to gain this kind of short term things or cheap things that does not going to impact our long term goals, right? Yeah, so let me charge my laptop, otherwise it's going to shut down. Okay, so okay, how this happens in the business, let me see. So companies will always compete to grab the biggest market share and be the best in the industry, unless they have a monopoly in a particular sector. After all, a capitalist society is based on the premise of increasing profits and having more for oneself. And that's fine, as long as such competition is driven by sheer ambition. But when ambition crosses the line of ethics and turns into greed, even reputed business can get involved with scandals as they vie for the largest piece of the pie. Yep. When it goes beyond ambition, if you're competing out of ambition, it's good. And he's saying it's not bad, right? So I suppose I have started a company, or maybe I have started a new technology company or something like that. There is already player on the market. I will be competing with them, obviously, and I will try to deliver better things with compared to those person or those businesses, right? And it's good. But when I will be actually when I will be cross the line of ambition, then I will do some dirty tricks and scandals to just to get past through them, right? And it's not really a right thing. A lot of businesses got into the scam or anything like that because of this thing. With this, whenever I hear this word scam, I highly recommend one web series, that is Harshad Mehta Scam, 1992 Harshad Mehta Scam. So it's Scam 1992 is the actual web series name. I highly recommend that you watch that. It will tell a lot of things about the how actually Indian if you invest in stocks or mutual funds, you will know that what was SEBI at that time and what is SEBI right now. So how secure our things are, so we can close our eyes and invest in any mutual fund without any thinking, in today's world. But what was the situation at that time? Just look at that. Big players could have manipulate the market in any time. Okay, even there was a company who was not even the company, just a place was there. It was a broken place with a simple lock in it, and that company was like valued around 500 crores or something like that, just because you made the reputation, because we sell what company actually believe, what we believe, right? What we actually buy, what we believe in the stock market. Oh, I'm talking about stock market here. Let me just move on to the other things. I highly recommend that you watch that web series. That's the thing. Okay. So yeah, politics. Okay. Rather than contesting an election based on merit, politicians may sometimes be seen spreading lies to sway voters, suppressing voters on polling days, threatening opponents, or even assassinating a candidate. Okay, and the root cause is unethical competition, right? Great. So there was a extreme level of competition story. Jamin was a photographer, and his stylist wanted to replace him as a lead photographer, and the HR was also in that because Jamin used to schedule his own make the schedule on his own time. He did not used to listen to the HR because he wanted to work efficiently, but they were envious of him because the stylist used to think why she should have to come whenever he is actually scheduling the time, and the HR was like he never reports to her, so she was angry, and they did this out of frustration. They used to delete all his photographs whenever he spent a lot of time taking photographs of models and everything. Just look at the toxic environment, how the toxic environment it is. He even they even flushed out all of his life's works because he wanted to do it as a portfolio. Then he eventually left the job. So that's the extreme. Maybe in more extreme can go for some people, but for a lot of people it's not that much extreme, but that can happen as well, right? So then Harry asked a question that shouldn't we compete in the work environment, otherwise we will be left behind. Gaur Das said no, you need to compete, but if you really want to grow, then you have to compete, right? But how? Let's see. Healthy competition. Okay, let's see what is healthy competition is. Okay, I'm going to read this because it's fun. The only difference is whom you are competing with, I added. People with a closed mindset want to grow by beating others in their field. Open-minded people, on the other hand, grow by developing themselves. They know that nobody is their competition. They are their own competition. Every day they keep striving to become better versions of themselves, even if the growth is only a tiny fragment. They feel uncomfortable if they remain the same as they were yesterday. Yeah, that happens to me a lot. The actor Matthew McConaughey spoke about this principle in his 2014 Oscar acceptance speech. Yeah. The words of the American actor echoed around the car, and okay. And to my hero, that's who I chase. Now, when I was 15 years old, I had a very important person in my life come to me and say, "Who is your hero?" And I said, "I don't know. I gotta think about it. Give me a couple of weeks." I come back 2 weeks later. This person comes up and says, "Who is your hero?" I said, "I thought about it. You know who it is? It's me in 10 years." So I turned 25. 10 years later, that same person comes to me and says, "So, are you a hero?" And I was like, "Not even close. No, no, no," she said. "Why?" I said, "Because my heroes me at 35. So you see, every day, every week, every month, and every year of my life, my heroes always 10 years away. So you have not found your hero, it is just 10 years away. So because you are improving yourself each and every day, even if it is a tiny fragment, right? I am never gonna be my hero. I'm not gonna attain that. I know I'm not, and that's just fine with me because that gives me with somebody to keep on chasing. So you are chasing yourself only. You are not actually chasing others. You are not envious of anyone. How can you envy yourself? How can you get jealous of yourself? That is impossible. I don't know if you have ever felt jealous of yourself. Just let me know in the comments if that happens. Because I want to see if it really happens or not. Okay. Okay, so why Apple is so influential? That story is actually coming up again, and I can't believe. And people, a lot of books actually talks about this. So the late Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple, believed that competing with others was a distraction from your own, creativity. To not strive for originality would have been disastrous for Apple. If we compare ourselves with others too much, we succumb to ordinaries. We can start blindly imitating others and even lose our essence. In the worst case scenario, we becoming boring. Steve Jobs was notorious for paying careful attention to detail in all his products. He wanted to change the world, not just copy the next best company to increase his stock price. He wanted to express himself fully, not just follow the expressions of others. He wanted to compare himself to what he had done in the past, not just with Bill Gates. Okay. So Apple was a company who actually compete with themselves. It's not like they if you think the history of Apple, look at the history of Apple. They did not never compete with anyone. They are just competing only with themselves. Just look at their product lineup, you will get it. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so here his question is like, are you trying to say that comparison with others is always bad? Harry interrupted. Okay, no, I replied. If we do have to compare ourselves with others, we should compare positive attitudes. That person's attitude to tirelessly keep working or grinding at their skills is inspiring. I want that same attitude. So he's saying that if you want to compete or if you want to compare yourself with any person, compare the positive things that he has on them, he or she has on them. So if someone is working hard, just compare that. Okay, I'm not working hard, I need to get that, I need to attain that hard work from that person, right? So let me learn from them and in turn help them in any way I can. Let us mutually grow. That is how an open-minded person thinks. So he always think about growing mutually. It's not like that growth for your own. So you're thinking, you're taking all the positive traits of a person or a business and seeing that, okay, that business culture is really good, I need to integrate that kind of culture, that kind of good culture in our business. Then it's not bad. This kind of competitions are healthy, not really a problem with that. Okay, right. That sounds great, but when competitive people around you engage in dirty politics to drag you down and grab the deal, should you just keep quiet and continue to work on? Look at the stylist did to Jamin, Harry objected. So he's asking a very important question here. He's saying that, okay, if people tries to drag you down whenever you are working on your own space, suppose you are actually minding your own business, you are seeing all the positive things of other companies or businesses, and then you are actually doing all the stuff that is necessary for the growth. But he's asking that, okay, if people tries to drag you down, what you will do? So let me just read this, what to do, but I will be taking a break for a minute, so let me just give me a break. So guys, I'm back again, and yeah, let's see how to deal with this situation when people are trying to drag you down. Okay, even when you are not really competing, right? Let's see. There will always be those who play dirty politics at workplace, I replied. This seems to be in every office, like moisture in the air. Wherever there are human beings, you will find two types of people: those who work in honest ways, living with integrity, and those who don't. Of course, this is a generalization. Nobody has a perfect moral compass, neither is anyone completely morally bankrupt. Even if you leave your job to join another company, there will be people engaging in politics there as well. It may be a little less or little more, and maybe of different flavor. However, we must learn how to manage demanding situations at the workplace in a clean way. There are a few books written by experienced professionals that explain in great detail the subject of dealing with workplace politics. I highly recommend that you read one of those books. The bottom line, however, is rather than being political, it is better to constantly work hard on self improvement to achieve excellence. In extreme cases like Jamin's, when it is impossible to stay surrounded by negativity of bosses and colleagues, it is better to move on, only if you have another work option, of course. He's saying that, okay, if we should always mind your own self improvement in your head. So even if people trying to drag you down, you need to constantly improve yourself. And he's saying that if all the people are actually trying to drag you down in your workplace, he said you should move on. Obviously, if you have another job option, so change is the only thing that is constant in our life. So a lot of we as a human being really are afraid of change, I would say. So if something is changed, we feel that okay, constant threat, because as an ancestor, change is the thing that was happening quite fast. But a lot of people who actually were safe from that, suppose they found a cave and that was safe from the safe from animals, and they were like, okay, now there is no danger. So when they have to change the cave, they had this sense of again adrenaline rush that okay, if we go out, animals are going to eat us. So these are the kind of things that we still carry in our mind, that okay, if something is changed, that is a threat. We sometimes see change as a threat, I would say, because a lot of people, you may be seeing that okay, even a simple change they are unable to do. Even for me, that really happens sometimes as well. So the bigger the changes, the bigger the threat that we think of, right? Okay, so he's saying that okay, if you have any problem, if you have so much problem there, people are so much toxic and trying to drag you down, so you should move on if you have another option, right? So here's a summary of this book, not the book, the chapter. I always say book. Okay, there are two causes of unhealthy competition: being envious of someone or uncontrolled ambition. We compete with people who have the same skills or outlook in life as us. When another person's skills have no bearing on our life, we really feel threatened. Okay, if another person is improving and it has no impact or anything in our life, or something like that's we are not going to feel threatened. So if we are not feel threatened, we are not going to feel any jealousy or envy, right? Competition is found in all spheres of life. Some examples include sports, business, politics, and the workplace. Jamin's story is an extreme case study of healthy competition. So Jamin's story I have already discussed here. Healthy competition is all about competing with ourselves rather than others to become a better versions of ourselves. Okay, healthy competition, you need to keep this thing in mind. Healthy competition is about competing with ourselves rather than others to become a better version of ourselves. Okay, there will always be workplace politics, but we should learn how to manage it in a clean way. Okay, so it's all about like learn to manage. And he says that there are a lot of books on this, but I don't know if next chapters are going to talk about this in details or not. So yeah, with that we have completed chapter 12 and 13, I guess. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, that was a great read. Oh, I forgot to put the bookmark inside. Let me just put it there. So let me know that if you're reading with me using this videos. I am really grateful. Thank you so much for watching, and I highly recommend that you follow me wherever you are actually active. So these are the social handles that you see right now on the screen. So if you can go ahead and obviously follow me.